I, 28M, have been dating my girlfriend, Sarah, 26F, for about a year, and things have been going great between us. However, recently Sarah asked me to do something that's made me very uncomfortable. We're planning to meet her parents for the first time next week, and she asked me to lie about my job. I'm a graphic designer and I love what I do. It's a fulfilling career that allows me to be creative and work on a variety of interesting projects. But Sarah thinks that her parents will look down on my job because it's not as high paying or prestigious as some other professions. Sarah comes from a family of professionals. Her father is a lawyer and her mother is a doctor. She's worried that they won't take me seriously or approve of our relationship if they know what I really do. So, she asked me to tell them that I'm a lawyer. She even went as far as to coach me on some legal jargon and gave me a brief background story to go along with the lie. I refused because I don't want to start our relationship with her parents based on a lie. I told her that if they can't accept me for who I am, then it's better they know the truth now rather than later. Sarah got really upset and said that I was being stubborn and unreasonable. She thinks that I'm making this a bigger deal than it needs to be and that I'm not understanding how important her parents' approval is to her. She's been distant and cold since our argument, and it's making me question whether I'm in the wrong here. On one hand, I understand that she wants her parents to like me and support our relationship. But on the other hand, I feel like asking me to lie about something as fundamental as my job is crossing a line. It's not just a white lie, it's a significant part of who I am and what I do. Edit 1. Reading all these comments is making me second guess everything, and it sucks. She's still my girlfriend, and I still love her, but now I'm starting to wonder if she really loves me back. This whole situation is making me feel really confused. I didn't even think it was that big of a deal before hearing what everyone has to say. Earlier, my only concern was the lying. Now, after seeing around 500 people here saying things like she doesn't respect me, she's embarrassed and ashamed of me, she's a serial liar, she's insane, a fraud, manipulative, and deceitful, it feels like it goes much deeper than it looks. I'm going to have a talk with her this evening. I still don't know how to approach this because she's already on edge, a bit hurt and distant, and I don't want to say something that will make this worse. Even after all this, I still love her and, unlike what everyone is saying here, I won't just dump her after a year of a relationship without trying to talk it out first. I'll update about that later. It's been a good year together, and I owe it to both of us to at least try to figure this out. Edit 2. For everyone wondering why I haven't met her parents and it's been a year since we are together and questioning why they didn't ask about me earlier. The thing is, Sarah is in low contact with her family and they are not very close. They don't even know where she lives, just the city and the state. For those asking what she does, she has a job in marketing and makes half of what I make. Ironically, her parents don't have a problem with that since they are more traditional and old school. They believe it's a man's duty to get a house, pay for children, etc. Let me add that Sarah doesn't share the same thinking. Her being LC with her family is one of the reasons she says they won't find out and I should just lie to them. Comments. Radish Slaw, New Tau Alpha. If her dad is a lawyer and you say you are a lawyer, the first thing he will do on the following morning is look you up in the big book, the bar directory and lawyer finder, and guess what? You aren't in it. You are then either a liar or a fraud, neither which is going to impress him. If you need to lie, always lie with some element of truth. Think of the best graphic design and mention you were involved. Evilbird, 100% this. Any professional is going suss out someone pretending to be that profession in like 2 or 3 minutes of conversation. I feel law is one of those professions that this would be easiest. Honestly, it's most silly she chose one of the professions her parents are. Why not choose accountant or something they aren't experts in the field of? This is like the most half-baked idea ever. Yeah, you're right. It does seem like a risky move, especially with her dad being lawyer himself. She's been pretty insistent on the whole lawyer or doctor thing. At first she was insistent on me being a doctor, but then she started going on about how I couldn't pull off being a doctor when I didn't even want to be involved in the first place. She didn't bother asking me, she just kept going on about how doctors need to know so much medical jargon, and her parents would ask about specialties and residency programs. Then she started listing off specific medical procedures like I'd need to be ready to talk shop. After that she settled on lawyer because she said her mom's a doctor and would probably ask me medical stuff, being all clever and stuff. Then she decided lawyer was the safer bet because her dad, while a lawyer, isn't as nosy. But honestly, I can't prep for every possible legal question either. It's like she thinks I can just wing being a lawyer in front of actual lawyers. Evilbird, what's her plan going forward? You lie to her parents now and you'll just keep up the lie through years, marriage, kids, etc.? It's a half-baked plan because she's embarrassed about your job, completely unjustifiably. You have a profession you enjoy. If you see a future in this relationship, you need to be honest with her parents. Update. So, I finally confronted Sarah about everything, and it did not go well. I told her I felt she was embarrassed of me and ashamed of my job. She went absolutely ballistic, asking me who the hell was filling my head with this garbage. I couldn't tell her I posted about it on Reddit, so I said a friend made me realize it. She went even crazier, saying I betrayed her trust by sharing personal stuff with friends. I can only imagine how she'll react when she finds out 312k people viewed it on Reddit. She insisted I was being an asshole and that if I wanted to meet her parents, I had to go along with her story. I refused, saying I wouldn't lie to them and was fine with not meeting them at all. I told her she didn't respect me or what I do and was ashamed of me. I even said if she wanted to be like this, maybe I didn't want to be with her anymore. She started crying, calling me selfish and saying I didn't know anything. Then she dropped a bombshell. She told me the reason she's in low contact with her parents is because they're extremely controlling and manipulative. They have sky-high expectations, and even after she became an adult, they would threaten to stop paying for her college if she didn't obey them. Once she got her degree, she moved away, which pissed them off, and they cut her off and took her trust fund. She's an only child, and her only chance of getting back in their good graces and getting her inheritance is to win them over. She told me that her parents would rather get buried with all their money than give it to her if she didn't win their approval. Sarah even admitted she was going to lie about her job and my background too. She said her parents would think I'm a gold digger if they knew I wasn't rich and would never give her any money. She revealed she was going to lie about me coming from an old money family that they couldn't trace back. Lying about my job wasn't enough. She said she had to lie about my background too because the job just ticked one box, and me being from an old money family was just as important. She said she didn't tell me this earlier because she thought I'd break up with her over this and she hoped she'd be able to convince me without revealing everything. At this point, I didn't know what to say. After reading all these comments on Reddit, I wasn't even sure if what she was saying was true anymore. I told her I didn't care about the inheritance. If she and her parents can't accept me for who I am, then maybe this isn't right for me. She started crying again, calling me a selfish bastard and saying she did all this for me and our future together. She envisioned a happy family, a home, children, and everything. I was really shaken, mad, and hurt, so I packed a few pairs of clothes and moved out to stay at a friend's place. Now I have no idea what to do next. Comments: Blurbot, that's too much lying for me. I'd get out of there. Zerfeld, but what about the bright future with a happy family built on a foundation of lies, childhood trauma, hurt, and greed? MS Morningstar, NTA, it's real fucking rich that she's repeatedly calling you selfish when she's the one that wants you to lie and make up this elaborate story about your family history just so she can get her trust fund back. Maybe her parents are controlling, maybe it's more lies. Hard to know from someone so willing to say whatever it takes to get what she wants. Also, claiming she's only doing this for your future is ridiculous. You both have good careers, you can have a family with a nice home and all the extra things in life without groveling for her parents. Especially because this will only be the beginning. If they truly are controlling like she says, then she's planning to exchange control over your lives for more money. You don't think they'll want to say in things like where you buy a house? You already said they were upset she moved away. You don't think they'll demand a say in how your children are raised? And she'll bow to them on everything and insult you and say you're selfish if you don't do what they say because money is what is important to her. Just think long and hard about whether or not this is the future you truly want. Money is nice, but is it worth letting other people control your life and having to lie about who you are to make other people happy? Kuet, all this plus her lies about lawyer coming from an old wealthy family when father is a lawyer himself, would be so easy to identify that he would be taken for a gold digger by the parents without any doubt. The strategy is totally stupid and would never be able to trust her now. She is beyond stupid if any of this is true. Exactly. Also, I've googled her father and figured out that not only is her father a ruthless criminal defense attorney, but her family is also some sort of old money dynasty. I was blown away by the idea that she was going to make me mess with people like that by lying to them. Honestly, if I had agreed to do it, it would have been like a death wish. Now on to the next story. Story 2. Cancelled my wedding 2 days before because of strippers at the bachelorette party, but later discovered my fiancée cheated with them and all her bridesmaids lied to cover it up. I 29M and my ex-fiancée 29F were together for 5 years. We should have been married now in the normal conditions, but I broke up with her and cancelled the wedding 2 days before it because they invited male strippers to bachelorette party. I am personally not a fan of these parties but reluctantly agreed after both groom and bride side confirmed we would keep it simple. I told my ex-fiancée I am not comfortable with strippers or other kind of crazy things. She agreed. I also told my friends if they were to do a stupid thing without me knowing, we would have problems. We stayed at my friend's summer house and chilled there by the pool, did some WoW raids and played board games. My ex-fiancée and her friends went to a restaurant then rented an Airbnb. There was no problem during the night and next day I asked how things went. She and her close friends said it was really chill and good. We returned to the city center after that. I encountered another bridesmaid that day when I was shopping for a bracelet for my ex-fiancée for her upcoming birthday. I asked that girl how's everything as we were in the same department at the college but rarely talk now. She is closer with my fiancé than me. She said it's going good and last night was crazy with all the strippers. After saying that she looked uncomfortable. I asked her about the details but she was not willing to tell much. I think she realized she should not have talked about it. I laughed, said goodbye and left. I confronted my fiancé and she seemed surprised about it. She was denying at first, then told me nothing crazy happened and one of the bridesmaids invited strippers. I reminded her that it was a strict boundary for me. I asked about the details but she said there was nothing much with strippers, just solo dances and that's it. I told her I need some time to think. Almost all of the bridesmaids messaged me ensuring nothing happened when I was on my way back home, definitely not coordinated. Things happened after that, but in the end I decided to break up and cancel the wedding. I lost some money since it was only 2 days before the wedding. Things are not cool right now. My head is messed up, I get criticism from everyone and no idea about what to do. My sister told me to see a therapist to process my thoughts and feelings. That is what I'll do next. Some mutuals suggested me that I should reconsider things and stop being so whiny about such a small thing. I do not think it's such a small thing, especially when they all tried to hide it from me. Ada here? Comments, NTA. It was crazy with all the strippers is hugely different from it was really chill and good. This isn't just lying, this is a total reversal of the truth. Even her it was just solo dances is not the same as crazy. So they are lying, all of them, except the first one. Oop, everyone is telling different things. One person says it was crazy, my ex says it was just solo dance, another person says it was different. I do not know whom to believe, to be honest, and that's one of the reasons I lost trust here. Apparently, the stripper was naked and that even alone is a deal breaker for me. There is no way for me to know what happened that night and why she did not even bother with calling me or telling me about it. My friends call me epic, NTA, it comes down to the lies. Also her friends also lied. One said the truth but knew they FKD up and weren't forthcoming with information. Just makes you wonder, what if anything in the future they would lie about to cover up? You told her it was a boundary and they stomped on it. Lone Wolf 369963. Sometimes I wonder if there is an unsaid rule about the marriage celebrations being unfulfilled without strippers. Because there are stories I have came across, both on Reddit and in real life, where the relationships were destroyed because of things done on bachelor/bachelorette parties. Cowboy soothsayer, it's a trope in movies and such that bachelor and sometimes bachelorette parties are wild events with strippers, getting drunk, and drugs. This may be the case for some people, but I can't imagine the thought process that would go into thinking I love and respect this person so much that I want to spend my life with them, build a family, and have a lifetime commitment that binds generations. But first I need to see a stranger naked and maybe fuck them. I can't imagine that whole love, respect, and commitment thing really meaning much if that's someone's viewpoint. Nature Carolyn Gate, she violated your trust. You both agreed, no strippers. She had strippers, it doesn't matter who made the arrangement, she could have told them to leave. Then when you knew, she lied, and then she doubled down and initially denied it. She stretched the violation of your trust further. Not a way to start a marriage. You did the correct thing. If you married her, you wouldn't know if, how, or when she was lying. NTA. Buddha Bar Freak, sometimes friends do stupid things without your knowledge. She should have just left and gone back to the op. That's what I would do, and then uninvite those bridesmaids from my wedding. Update, I read most of the comments in the original post and thank you for the advice. My problem was that not her being blindsided by her friends but lying. Every bridesmaid told different things and none of them gave details about what happened. I believe you can understand it just shatters the trust and makes you think there is something going on. I thought there was something wrong with me after reading the comments. There were a lot of Vitas and I thought I should apologize. One of the bridesmaid reached out to me last evening. I suspect she saw the post somewhere and recognized it. I knew my fiancée was having problems with her friends since last week, but I did not know the extent. Apparently, my ex-fiancée and her close friends blamed the girl that I encountered at mall about everything. This divided the group and led into a verbal fight. I will skip the personal details here, but in the end she told me my ex-fiancée and other bridesmaids got sexual with the strippers. My fiancée was the only one who had boyfriend/fiancé/spouse at least monogamously, there to my knowledge. Also, I was told by her that my ex-fiancée was not blindsided with stripper invites. She was happy to see the strippers and was relieved she had an excuse. I do not have proof for all of these, but I got a short video of girls making out with strippers. One of the girls is my ex-fiancée and that's enough. She has been trying to reach out to me since we broke up. I confronted her again. At first, she denied it again, then it became we just touched, then okay we kissed too, okay I gave him a hand job, finally I was coerced into doing these by others as I pressed on. I just blocked her after the last part. I did not see any need to learn further. I was hurt already, but learning that I got cheated on hurt more. I am not sure if it's the full truth even now. I will never know, but all I can say is it hurts. I will go to a therapist to not carry my luggage to my next relationship. I lost 15K from the wedding related things and need to focus on filling the hole for a while. Some misogynists made weird comments about women and I'll just ignore them. Some of the people told me I am an insecure, unfunny nerd for playing WoW on my bachelor party. Isn't the whole point of bachelor parties having one last fun? It was raiding nonstop with the boys for me, not having one last sexual interaction with a stranger or having a stranger's butt on my face or penis. I will not miss on out these during marriage anyways, omitting the stranger part. That's it. It's therapy time tomorrow and thank you for the help. Comments, Scott's YA, I will never understand why people like your ex-fiancé throw it all away for one night. Eatemder, because they do not want to be married. They want to have that special day and be the center of attention. They want the wedding but not the marriage. She belongs to the streets. 0308G, I have a cousin that did this. She explained to me she really never believed the other guy wouldn't leave her because he loved her way too much. She really thought true love in the fairy tale land will conquer all. Delusional, she still thinks he is wrong and should come back to her and marry. Eat dimmed her. She cheated on him and she expected him to be the one to beg on his knees? Oh 308G. Yep, he loved her for a decade prior and she said that she thought he would forgive her anything because she would forgive him anything. Even now in her mind Disneyland, she says love should overcome all. I almost envy her to be 34 and still have that thought process. But multiple women in my family agreed with her that if he truly unconditionally loved her he would have worked through it. Sidewalks cycling 39. And had she ever seriously considered what she would feel or do if her fiancé had done the same to her? Obligated husband. No, that's the point. Rules for thee, not for me. Same in AN. As a society, we absolutely overvalue the concept of unconditional love. If it were unconditional love from him, he would have forgiven her for cheating. But is that really something we as a society wish to allow? For someone to trample and mistreat another person because they are loved? Love in all its forms should always have conditions, one of which should be a base level of mutual respect. Tactical failure 1. Veil bud, take a break. Sucks this happened to you, but one day this will be a blessing in disguise. $15,000 is a lot cheaper than what you'd lose in a divorce, that's for sure. Several County 1808. Much cheaper than having children with a dumpster fire like her and watching said dumpster fire influence your kids. Avast 2006. It's boggling to watch someone look you in the eye and lie to your face 5 or 6 times in a row, and then be shocked that you no longer trust them. It was chill and great, nice quiet party. Okay, so there were strippers, but nothing happened, I swear. Okay, it was just touching. Okay, it was just kissing. Okay, it was just a hand job. Okay, we had sex, but I was coerced. What do you mean the wedding is off? Moral_anarchist. Absolutely this. I cannot stand people who trickle truth. I've gotten to the point where I just leave and say it's over as soon as that shit starts.